welcome to another episode of Challenge the Scorpion. And this time it's Rob has brought his Ultramarines along, and they're going to be playing my 1850 point Necron force. It's an Imperial Guard sector, but it's on a woodland planet this time. There's a strong Imperial Guard base that's been set up. Lots of walkways, sandbags and ammo crates there. And there's a Necron force in the area, and it is the Ultramarines that have been sent to destroy them. So it's a nice terrain set up here. It's a perfect table for Ultramarines and Necrons to clash. I've got to get a bit of a reputation back here. I've lost a couple of challenge games, so this will be a crucial battle for this channel. Will the Ultramarines prevail against the Necron menace? Alright, welcome to this 1850 point Challenge the Scorpion game. It's Necrons, and we're going to be playing against Rob's Ultramarine force. It's good to see Ultramarines back. Here's the Necron force here. It's the one Overlord, and he is inside a Catacomb command barge, and then 2 units of Scarabs, 3 bases in each, and 2 units of 6 Necron warriors, and they are inside Night Scythes. Then coming across Ghost Ark, and inside there 9 Necron warriors. And then my HQ choice and Warlord for this force is a Necron Overlord with War Scythe, Phylactery, Semper Internal Weavers 2+ save, Phase Shifter, it's a 3+ Invun, and Phaeron upgrade as well. And then he's also got a Resurrection Orb as well. And coming across 2 heavy supports, 2 Monoliths, and 3 Tomb Spiders. No upgrades for those, and then 6 Necron Wraiths with no upgrades, just 210 points for them. So that's the force, 1850 points. How will they prevail against Ultramarines? We've fought against them before. James's Ultramarines a long time ago, at least a year ago. So it's good to see this classic showdown appear on the channel once again. Here's Rob's 1850 point list. He's going to run through what he's got.
Okay, so we've got 2 Storm Talons with the strength 7 missiles, so they're coming at 125 points. Next though, we've got 2 Dreadnoughts with 2 twin-linked auto cannons. Sorry for the long pauses. We've got a Rhino with 5-man squad. Got a combi flamer and a flamer. We've got 5-man squad in a Razorback with twin-linked las cannon with a combi melter and melter. We've got 2 multi-melter attack bikes, really trying to take advantage of the combat tactics. So they'll be re-rolling ones to hit when I pop that little mini feat. You've got Tigerius rolling on telekinesis. Is it telekinesis I'm rolling on? One with his invisibility, whatever that is, with a unit of Centurions with grav cannons, grav amp. We've got a Landspeeder Storm with a flamer that's fallen out, and a 5-man squad with a sergeant with a power fist and a combi melter. We've got 2 land speeders, and they're the Typhoon variants, cheaper now, 75 points. So we've got 2 of those, they're separate units. And we've also got here 2 las cannon Preds coming at 115 points. So bargain, absolute bargain. So as you can see, lots of units, nothing massively expensive apart from the Centurions, and hopefully a bit of firepower to whittle you down on the way in.
Right, so the scenario is Purge the Alien, and the deployment is Hammer and Anvil, so we're playing from end to end. So it brings back memories of the game against James. We won the roll-off, so the Necrons will be deploying at this end, so we've got the bunkers and some good cover here, and then Rob's Ultramarines will be coming on from, or deploying from this end here. Rob's just rolled for night fighting, so we're going to be starting the game in the dark. Right, so deployment for the Necrons. Both the monoliths have gone on the right-hand flank here. It's hammer and anvil, so we've got a fair distance to cover before we can get to the Ultramarine force. So we've deployed ahead with the monoliths. There's not much room for deep striking on this terrain. So they're positioned right 24 inches in. And just behind them on the extreme right here is the Wraiths. Then coming across the Catacomb Command Barge right at the back, ready to move out. The Tomb Spiders just behind the bunker there, and then one unit of Scarabs just at the foot of the bunker there, and then another unit of 3 just there inside the crater. And then the Ghost Ark with the 9 warriors and the Overlord inside are just positioned there. So those guys are inside the Ghost Ark, and the 2 Night Sives will be flying on from reserve with their 6 Necron warriors in each. Right, Ultramarine deployment then. The extreme right for Rob, he's put his 2 land speeders. The Thunder Fire Cannon is at the back. 1 Rhino just here, with the troops inside, and then the 2 Dreadnoughts just positioned on the hilltop there. 2 Predators just down below. And another Razorback with the twin las cannon positioned right at the back here. Then Tigerius and the Centurions just positioned on the hillside here, and then the 2 attack bikes. Rob's saying it's a range 48 based list, so there's a lot of long range weapons there, which is perfect for this deployment zone. And then the idea is as the opponent comes in to close down, then these flanking units of bikes and land speeders can move up and shoot from the sides. It's a good tactic. Will it be enough to stop the Necrons? We'll have to see. So we're going to go on to the first turn. It is night fighting. And then just the 2 reserves for Rob's, the 2 Storm Talons. They'll be flying on later on in the game. Lovely models those. First time I've come up against those in our games. And then also Rob's decided to put these as outflank for the scouts. Okay, Necrons are going first. Rob doesn't want to seize the initiative, so we're going to make a start here. Necrons are going to move up. On turn 1 for the Necrons. Monolith here's got stuck because it's trying to move off all the barrels, rolled a 1, so it's not a particularly good start, and then that range 24 means he's not going to have too much to do in the game. And then the second monolith on the extreme right here has moved up 6, and then the Wraith's just tucking up behind. I hope that survives and provides a wall for us as we move along, just this open ground that we've got to get across. Scarabs bursting forward, and they've multiplied. There's a unit of 6 now. We've bred 3 more Scarabs from the Tomb Spiders, and they've gone up 12 inches here. And then the Ghost Ark just moving up in this direction, moving up the centre of the table. And the Catacomb Command Barge with the Overlord has jumped up and over 12 inches, just taking up position here. And then the Tomb Spiders moving up. So it's this central corridor that we're trying to use the terrain to protect us a little bit as we move up. And then another unit of Scarabs just tucked under the bunker on the left hand side. That's the movement for Necrons. We're going to go on to shooting phase and any run moves next. So no shooting for the Necrons on turn 1. There's been a fair few run moves, some significant ones, a couple of flat out moves as well. Just closing in the ground here. Gone flat out with the Catacomb Command Barge. It's handy to have that speed in the force. Just trying to present targets here that the Ultramarines have got to deal with whilst the bulk of the Necrons move up. Then the Scarabs are going to roll here, roll to 6. They're well inside the ruin and within striking range of the first Rhino. Then the second unit here have rolled very well. They've moved up inside this bunker here. So Scarab's handy. We'll see if they can make an impact on the game. Then the Ghost Ark, he passed, didn't roll a 1 as he went through, smashed aside the walkway there and has moved up 6. And then 2 inches moved up by the Tomb Spiders. No shooting for the Necrons, no combats. So we are now going on to Ultramarine turn 1. Right, Ultramarines turn 1. The Razorback shifted around a little bit. He's got a view there through to the Catacomb Command Barge. They're advancing here. The bikes have moved forwards. Then the Librarian and the Centurion's moving as well. He's bolstered the defences on this piece of area terrain, so he's moved up to the edge of that hillside. And he'll get +1 to his cover. The 2 Predators staying where they are. 2 Dreadnoughts staying where they are. Just going to let rip with some fire. Thunderfire cannons holding position, and the Rhino thought it would pull back, but it's gone forwards, spun around, and has dropped out the 5-man squad. There's a combi melter in amongst them, and then the 2 land speeders have moved round with shots onto the Catacomb Command Barge. It'll be a miracle if we survive, and if we do, then we'll be able to strike back on our turn. So we're going to go on to shooting now and Psychic Phase for the Ultramarines on turn 1. Right, Psychic Phase for the Ultramarines, not much going on. Tried to cast Shrouded here, special ability, and then we nullified that, thankfully. And cast Terrify on the Scarabs, but Fearless, we'll pass that. So not too much to do there. There's a good amount of psychic abilities that his Librarian has, Mastery level 3, but that's it. So we're going to go on to shooting now. For the Ultramarines on turn 1. Right, so Ultramarine turn 1 shooting. It's been quite effective. The Thunderfire cannon has been the best, fired up and over, 4 blast marker hits, and has reduced the Scarabs down just to 1 base at the back there, and then another wound taken on that base from fire from the one of the land speeders. And then a number of units firing at the Catacomb Command Barge. Just 1 glancing hit. We passed quite a few of our Jink saves, getting +1 added to it because for the stealth for night fighting. Fire coming across here, no damage on the monolith, but he got an angle with one of the Dreadnoughts and managed to take out one of the Wraiths at the back. That marks the end of shooting for Rob's Ultramarines on turn 1. So we're going to go on to Necron turn 2. Will they be able to engage with the Ultramarines on this next turn? moving for the Necrons on turn 2. This monolith's stuck, and the one on the extreme right has moved up 6 inches, and then the Wraith's just sneaking up behind there, just closing the range, trying to keep them alive and tucked away out of trouble. There's no way they can cross open ground, so they're just moving up slowly, biding their time. And around the other side, the Necron column continues to sneak up the centre of the table. Catacomb command barges in position to assault the Marines just there. And then the Scarabs have bred, so there's 6 of them now, and they've moved up 12, closing in on the land speeders. Ghost Arcs moved up, Warriors have got out with the Overlord, looking to shoot the Rhino, pick up a point there perhaps. And then these Spiders have moved up the centre. The last remaining Scarab swarm has moved through and is just hiding in the bunker there. 2 flyers have arrived, sweeping down onto the left-hand flank, just about in range of a couple of Rob's lead units. Right, shooting for the Necrons on turn 2. It's not gone too bad. The monolith firing down has taken out one of the attack bikes, and then coming around the other side, the flyers here are just out of range of the land speeders, so they've fired down and taken out 2 of the Marines. Got out the Rhino just there. Catacomb command barge trying to fire on snapshots, missed, and then the Warriors firing through caused a hull point on the Rhino, and then another hull point coming in from a broadside from the Ghost Arc. Spiders have run up an inch, and then the Scarab base just getting in a little bit closer to them so that it can breed again next turn if it survives. It may get picked on by the Thunderfire cannon. So that's the shooting for the Necrons. Not too bad. We're going to go on to assaults now on turn 2. Alright, it's just assaults for the Necrons. The Catacomb command barge has made it in, and the Scarabs made it in. They've charged both the land speeders there. They are actually a squadron, so we're in contact with both of those. So significant charges here on turn 2. Real chance of picking up some victory points here quite early in the game. So it's going quite well for the Necrons at the moment, but Ultramarines still have to respond on their turn 2, and they'll have reinforcements arriving as well. Right, so just combat results there. Catacomb command barge, you took a wound, and then we killed 1 Marine in return. So that's a combat drawn there, and it's locked combat, so that will continue next turn. And then the Scarabs were successful. They reduced all the hull points on one of the land speeders, and then one other hull point on the other, reducing it to armor 9, and then our attacks, we got enough glancing hits to bring that one down as well. So 2 victory points there. Going to go on now to Ultramarines turn 2. How will they respond to the Necron advance? Ultramarines movement on turn 2, and the attack bike's moved up here, just sneaking up. Going to try and get a ultimate showing on the monolith. And then the Laser Cannon Razorback has moved into position where he can fire at the monolith as well. Centurions and Librarians staying where they are, just on a fortified hillside there. Both the Predators remaining where they are as well. 2 Dreadnoughts now in position on the hillside, going to fire down. This effective firing that they can produce, those twin link strength 7 shots. And the Rhino's backed off here, trying to save it from being destroyed. Thunderfire cannon remaining where he is. The Land Speeder Storm is flanked, coming on. And then the Storm Talon has arrived, flying up. So there's going to be aerial combat here to see if the Storm Talon can take out one of the Necron flyers. So we're going to go on to the Psychic phase now, and then the shooting for the Ultramarines on turn 2. Ultramarines Psychic phase, he gave himself shrouded here, and that was about it. So then shooting phase, we went on to, and it's been spectacular for the Ultramarines. Firing the grav amps here, I'm not used to playing against those, and he's caused a whole load of hull points on 6s here, and the monolith has been wrecked, so he's gained a victory point there. Number of hits coming through, one from the multi-melter here, one from the las cannon, then went through to the Wraiths, but we passed our invuln save, so they're still alive, and we'll seek revenge next turn. Damage increased over here. Shooting from the Thunderfire cannon has destroyed the Scarabs that were just here, so it's a handy unit to have. It's been very impressive this game. He then moved the Rhino out just to try and save it on its last remaining hull point, and then heavy flamer inside the land speeder here fired through, killed 7 of the Necron warriors, and then fire coming through from the rest of the squad here, and then supporting fire from the Dreadnought reduced the warriors down, and then rolled terribly and have actually lost my commander, the Overlord, in the force here. So big trouble for the Necrons. We'll try and get him back up on a 4+. We really do need him back. And then the Storm Talon firing across has destroyed one of the Necron flies. It came crashing down, is scattered back 9 inches. And then 5 of the warriors inside have been killed. The last one's gone back into reserve. So what a shift back in favour for the Ultramarines. Horrendous casualties taken on the Necron force. Really depleted our forces down. So it's been a good result for the Ultramarines this turn. Right, so combat results. It's gone all right for the Necrons. The Overlord has killed the last 2 Marines, so that chariot is now freed off to move up on our turn 3 coming up. Right, it's a critical point. Here we go. We're going to roll to see if we get back up. 4+. Come on, please. Yes. He's back. And then Phylactery. So just to add insult to injury, on a 5 or more, we'll start again. 4. So he's on 2 wounds. So I can't complain at that. So the Necron commander's back up. The Ultramarines thought they had won the day, and then he clambered back to his feet, reassembled himself, and is ready to march forwards again. So we're going to roll into Necron turn 3 now. We're going to need to respond fast and hard, or the Ultramarines are going to carry the day. So here we go. For the Necrons on turn 3, the Wraiths have jumped up and over. Shame that both of the monoliths have gone, but there's nothing we can do about it now. So the Wraiths have jumped over, and they're going to look to get a point there in the assault. And then coming around, the Flyer's moved up 24, and he's dropped off the warriors just at the back here. We rolled a 2 to get into the terrain. Just being cautious with those, only 6 of them. And then the Overlord has got up, moved out 6 inches to assault the land speeder, and then the Ghost Ark has moved around, spun around. I'm going to give it a broadside. Catacomb Command Barge has jumped ahead. He's going to try and reach one of those Dreadnoughts in combat. That'll be critical. Try and silence some of those big guns. And then we've bred 3 more Scarabs. They moved out into the ruin here, 12 inches. And then the Tomb Spider's just moving up behind. I'm going to try and breed a nice big unit there, keep them alive. But that's all down to that Thunderfire cannon, which has performed very well in this game. So we're going to go into shooting phase now for the Necrons on turn 3. Right, I'm going to fire the Ghost Ark here. We're going to see if we can bring this land speeder down. Rob said he's not going to jinx. We want some nice good hits here. It's not too good. It's all right, about average. And then we want a couple of 6s would do it. Close. 1 hull point. Fire at the Rhino here. Going to try and take out the last hull point. Rob will get cover. We're at twin linked. Hit here, 1 hit, and then we're going to re-rolls. Yes, got a 6. So makes it 5. Side armor 11 for a Rhino. Strength 7. 2 12s. 2 pens. Saves the first. Doesn't save the second. So that's a wreck. Flip the Rhino over here. I've forgotten my blast markers still, my burning wreck markers today, so not much smoke on the battlefield in this game. So that's it for shooting for the Necrons. Broadside coming through, failed to destroy the land speeder there, just 1 hull point, and then the Rhino was killed by the Flyer. So we're just going to go into assaults now for the Necrons. A couple of critical ones. The Commander charging in there, and then the Wraiths charging in over the other side, and then the second in command is going to try and reach one of these Dreadnoughts. So some key rolls coming up. I'm going to charge the Catacomb Command Barge in here. So a nice good roll for him. It's got to be good. 6. Right, it's charging through. It's a 6 we've rolled. Less 2 is 4, and we are in by a fraction of an inch. We've measured it up, and the command bar just made it. So that's a good turn up for the Necrons there. And then the other charge makes it on a double 2. He's reached his target there. So here we go. This is the key, one of the key ones here to charge in. Less 2 to the dice. Oh dear. What we've said here is Wraith Flight, never affected by difficult terrain. We're going to say that's a charge. They make it. It's 4 inches rolled, 3 inches was the distance. So that's another combat for the Necrons. So by a whisker, we are in these 3 Combat results, the Necrons, the Wraiths killed the biker there, so picking up a victory point. We just shifted an inch in consolidation and coming around 1 hull point only on the Dreadnought, no damage in return, and then the land speeder was brought down. So it's good going. Going to go on to movement now for the Ultramarines on turn 3. The Ultramarines on turn 3. The Centurions moving forwards boldly. They're going to critical point here. They're going to have to try and take out the Necron Wraiths here. Razorbacks moved up, and the squad's disembarked from there as well. And then the first Storm Tanners moved up and swung around to lend some fire support as well. 2 Predators have swung around, so those Wraiths are going to come under a torrent of fire from the Ultramarines as they try to eliminate the threat on that flank. Dreadnought's locked in combat here. Second one just shifting round. The other one's Rob's moving it as we're filming. The second one locked in combat here. Thunderfire cannon holding position. And then the new Storm Tann arrived here. Is going to try and take out the Necron Flyer. He's done a good job. A lot of shots from these Storm Tanners. Do rate them. Quite impressed by them so far. Necron Overlord's just been left. And his scouts have moved off. No doubt going to try and use their heavy flamer to take out the warriors in the bunker there. So Ultramarines have the upper hand. That's how we feel the game's going. We'll see how effective the Ultramarines can be on this turn. He's just done a Psychic Scream and rolled really well, and has taken out 2 bases of Scarabs there. So it started off well in the Psychic phase for the Ultramarines. Garish is good. 3 Psychic powers a turn. He's casting them all over the place. So these Psychers are handy in games of 40k. Using them quite effectively, and he's well protected there amongst that Centurion unit. Shooting phase now, firing through the Flamers and the Bolters from this squad. 6 wounds on the Wraiths. We're going to chart to see if they can survive. He's taken out 1 so far. Right, then a strafing run coming in. The Wraiths under attack there. We've got 7 saves to make. Going to use our inbuns to try and save us. We need these saves. A tough one as we're in trouble. That's terrible rolling. We've lost another 2 Wraiths. That's cannon shots coming in.
2 normal saves.
2 saves of 3+. Come on. Yes, we passed those. The next lot of las cannons coming in.
And 1 normal save.
2 las cannon saves. These will be instant death, passed, and then 1 regular save, failed. 1 wound. Still 2 figures left. Good rolling there at the latter stage. We could do damage with 2. Just fired the grav amps here. That's all the saves got to make. 8 more. I think we're gone. That should make an incredible roll. No, he's done it. The Wraiths are gone. Flank secure here for the Ultramarines, and could be game secure as well. We'll have to see as the Ultramarines continue the rest of their fire, but it's mission accomplished on the left-hand side. The Necron presence is gone. He's going to try and take out the Flyer now. It's a hail of fire that comes from these things. She's rolling to penetrate now.
3 dices, 5s and 4s in the grey. 2 pens, one of which is AP2.
Okay, I'm going to try and save the AP2 pen, 4+. We don't. And then the other save, 2, we don't. AP2's done it. He's destroyed another flyer. So Necron's been hammered here. Seems that the list is working very well. Right, something peculiar to report here. Rob's laughing. So the scouts decided to throw a grenade at the Ghost Ark, which he got a hit. Strength 6 crack. We said we wouldn't bother jinking. The result that he got was a 6, but we're open topped. So that made it a 7. He's just blown up the Ghost Ark. Bizarre turnout there.
Sorry, mate.
He apologises, but he doesn't mean it. That's a strange result there. What an odd game it's turning out to be. So Ultramarines are getting some superb results here. Right, so shooting results for the Ultramarines on turn 3. It's been excellent for them and disastrous for the Necrons. The Wraiths are gone. Whenever they disappear, the Necrons know that they're in trouble. And then coming around, this flyer's been brought down. So air superiority now for the Ultramarines. It's good news for them. And then the odd and bizarre result that we had there, the Ghost Ark's been destroyed by a grenade thrown on the back. Proper commando style attack there from the scouts. And then more effective fire from the Thunderfire cannon, firing through. 4 Necron warriors killed there. Just going to roll to get some of these guys back up. So a good roll here will make us happy again. Ooh, not 2. 2, that's not too bad. So 4 Necron warriors remain. So just combat results. Good turn up here for the Necrons. The Overlord has killed the first Dreadnought, so we're freed up to move around now on our 4th turn. So that's a result there. We are getting victory points, but I think it might be too little too late. So that marks the end of turn 3. We're going to go on to Necron turn 4. Surely they've lost, but we'll plough on, see if we can claw our way back with the handful of units remaining. So this flank's lost. All we can do really is focus on the local battles and that's around here and try and knock up victory points. Turn 4, turn 5, just pick up as many as we can if we're going to stand any chance and try and avoid the overwhelming firepower on that left hand side. We'll see how it goes. Necron turn 4 coming up. On turn 4, last warrior's walked on here. He's the survivor from the crashed flyer. She's just going to sit at the back and hope he doesn't get noticed by anybody. And then the Overlord has joined the warriors, just about managed to get unit coherency there, and they're on their way to try and take out the scouts. And he has actually got a power fist in there on the scout sergeant, so we've got to be careful. We'll see what happens. And then the Tomb Spiders, sensing that the Necrons have lost, have turned around and they're going to head back into the Imperial Guard complex here. We know they're going to be strafed by his flyers. We're going to try and get out of range of the rest of Rob's army. And then we've leapt forwards 12 inches with the Scarabs and last-ditch charge. See if we can take out some of the tanks there. And then coming through, the victorious Overlord is going to try and charge that Thunderfire cannon. So as we seek revenge on that menace as it has been for this game. So shooting now coming up for the Necrons. Last handful of forces left on the table. Right, so that's shooting done for the Necrons. 1 casualty there, and then we ran back 6 inches with the Tomb Spiders, but we reckon they're going to be harassed by his air power. Going to come and hunt us. Really do rate these Storm Tanners, actually have done very well. Not too expensive in points. So we've got charges now. Will the Scarabs make it into combat, and then will the Overlord make it as well? Try and charge both the Predators here. Ignore cover, but we're going to need to roll pretty high. 6 more in total is going to be required, we reckon. 5 and 6, 11. Suicide charge. Right, no damage done with our Hammer of Wrath. We're in, and it's simultaneous. He's initiative 1, I'm initiative 1 with the War Scythe. So Rob's going to roll up, I'm going to roll up. We could kill each other outright. I've definitely got to kill this guy. Rob's rolling. Oh, hit. That's all right, yeah. So, yeah, twos. Oh! Oh, one wound on a double one. Let's strike back. What a good melee this one's going to be. One hit.
Don't roll a 1. Don't roll a 1.
One wound, so we just don't want to roll a 1. No! That's it, I concede. Oh, no. No. Oh, get lost. So we lose the... We lose the combat, yeah.
8 now.
Leadership 9. That's all right. That's all right.
9 minus 1, 8.
So locked in combat there at least, but it just sickens you, doesn't it? Sickens you. Right, so combat results for the Necrons on turn 4. It could have gone better, could have gone worse. We won the melee here, but he's held ground. And then coming across, didn't do any damage to each other there, so that melee continues. We've locked down the Thunderfire cannon, which is good news. And then the Scarabs, they did quite well. 1 whole point on the Predator here, and then we destroyed the other. But no doubt they'll be rounded up and destroyed now by the Ultramarines. But so it'll be point for point there. We could have got a second point. So that's it. That's the end of turn 4 for the Necrons. Not much left on the table for them. Ultramarines now are going to try and go about trying to annihilate what's left of the Necron force. Will they do it? We'll see. Will the Necrons be able to scrape through and ratchet up some victory points? We'll have to see how it goes. We think the Ultramarines have the advantage here. It's been a good game. Necron's Ultramarines is always a classic. It's been an enjoyable one. So Rob's going to start his mopping up action now. He's got the firepower to do it. And he will need to destroy all the Scarabs there. There's 5 bases left. If he fails, then we'll be able to strike back in the combat, but it's most likely we will be destroyed. Necrons have done their best. They had quite a distance to advance. Maybe the deployment zone was to our disadvantage. And then also the ability for Rob to fire at long range immediately in the game, and the Necrons really only having a maximum range of 24. Perhaps has been our downfall. Monoliths haven't performed too well, casting doubt on their place in the list. But Necrons, they've not done too bad. They have caused damage, and they've given the Ultramarines something to worry about. But we look set to perhaps lose another Challenge the Scorpion game. So Rob's moving his air power in now. Just on search and destroy missions. They've performed very well, and having 2 of them in the force, you can bring in some accurate firepower at pretty much any place on the table. So it's a wise choice taking those. Centurions as well, a new unit that I've come up against. Do plan to have those in my Imperial Fist force, and their choice has been justified. They've done all right. Maybe not the ideal game for them, but they've still managed to do damage and protect the Librarian as well. Fair amount of points been scored by the Necrons, but it's probably not going to be enough. The game is based only on the victory points. Also slay the Warlord. Both Warlords look pretty safe. And then we've got First Blood as well, and also Linebreaker needs to be scored by both the forces. We have it at this end, and then I think Rob's going to try and take it as well. So movement for the Ultramarines. This Storm Talon's just moved up, and then the other one's following it along just there. Then the melee continues over here, melee continues here, and then the Dreadnoughts swung around. I've rate those as well, they've done very well. Good firepower, and you can use them as anti-aircraft as well. And then the Predators backed off, and then the squad's moving around to take on the Scarabs, and then the Centurions and Librarian moving up, trying to lay in some fire on top of the Tomb Spiders. So Ultramarines stretch, they're sending 1 unit after 1 unit, but we'll see how they do on their Psychic phase, and then Shooting phase coming up for the Necrons now on turn 4. Psychic Scream is rolled here. He's got 2 warp charge points. We've got 6 dice to try and stop him. We would like to stop him, we don't want to take casualties. We've only stopped him on 1 dice there, so he's cast the power. And no damage those, Rob poor. So thankfully the Scarabs have survived that Psychic attack. Right, Shooting phase for the Ultramarines. It's been alright. Not much went on in the psychic phase at all. Everything's out of range. Firing here, what a turn up. He fired down and across with the assault cannon, was in arc, and got 3 wounds, 5 up save in the woods. We went to ground, got a 4 up save, and then rolled a 666, so he lives. We'll cling on to a victory point just there. Don't think we'll survive the next turn though, if he goes into hover mode. And then the 2 wounds on the tomb spiders, that's fire from the other storm talon. And then that's about it for shooting, apart from the fact that the scarabs are gone. That's combined fire from the predator, the dreadnought, the squad here, and also his centurion squad had to turn around and fire as well. So he got rid of them, done a good job, picked up another victory point then. So we're going to go on to assaults now on turn 4 for the Ultramarines. There's no charges, we've got 2 ongoing combats. This one here and this one here. These almost decide the game, whoever picks up victory points for these. Right, so we're going to roll up here. Rob's going to roll first. It's simultaneous. He's got his hit, his power fist, so 2+. Yes. So I'm down here. It's 3 wounds picked up. See if I can return. It's an important roll here. 4+. Oh, come on, please. Oh, no, missed. It might be the summary of the day for the Necrons. So what I'm going to do now, we've lost the combat, we're down, we've taken 3 wounds. On a 5 up, we'll get back up. This could be a decider for the game. 5+. 6. He's back up on a wound. So we'll, he lives to fight another day. Scouts now. Okay, no damage there. So we'll try and wipe these out here. 4s. Should be 1 kill with a war scythe. Yes.
Oh, is that the war scythe?
Yeah.
There's 1 dead?
Yeah. And then 3 warriors. 3s. 1 hit. Could be enough. No. Continuing melee. Unless he runs off. No. Continuing melee. So combat results there, we won, but he holds his ground. So that melee will continue into our combat phase. And then a continuing melee here. We lost, but we got back up again. So that's the end of the combats now for Ultramarines turn 4. So Necron turn 5 coming up. Right, so Necron shooting phase on turn 5 is quite straightforward, really. The tomb spiders are just fallen back, trying to get out of range. We're going to be harassed by his air power, but we're in a much quieter part of the battlefield now. And then continuing melee here, and then a continuing melee there. So just going to go on to shooting, a couple of little snapshots to do from the monolith that's still alive. Right, so shooting for the Necrons, not much, just ran these 4 inches, just pulling back away from the bulk of the Ultramarine force. And then 1 wound on the centurion. That was fire from the whip coil from the monolith. It's actually still alive. I forgot it was actually alive. It's just sat there silently all game. So just on to combats now. 1 here that continues on, and then 1 here with the Tech Marine. Right, so here we go. Will his power fist kill the Overlord once again? 2 attacks. He fouls this time. Now here's the chance. 3 attacks. 4s.
1.
We've got 1. 2s. Come on.
Don't roll a 1.
Hallelujah. He's gone. And that guy don't get up, so he's gone. That's good going. That's good going. Vulnerable though, he's got 2 chances of getting victory points if he can destroy that and then kill the Overlord, but that's not bad. Not bad. Another victory point notched up there. It will be quite tight this game. Although the Ultramarines tactically dominate the table, there's no doubt about that. Next combat failed, so we should finish him off. 3 attacks here, let's get him with the Overlord. 2s to kill. Yeah, he's gone, so we win that combat. So 2 inches, we just consolidate with those. That's the end of turn 5 for the Necrons. So Ultramarines turn 5, getting close to the end of the game, and every point counts. Rob's just moving here with the Ultramarines. It's been a long slog of a game. It's what it's like when you play Necrons. You kill them, shoot them down. They get back up again. They're tough. So it's a grinding match when you play against Necrons, gradually knocking them down. Rob's done that. He's been successful in doing it. And just a little bit of frustration now as he seeks to wipe out the last of the Necron force. But we won't get tabled, I don't think, unless the game goes on to maybe turn 7. But it's just seeking to pick up those points. Scattered Necron units almost in each corner of the table. You've got the Overlord just there, spiders over here, The warrior just in the woods. So we're going to go into psychic phase. Looks like there isn't any. So straight into shooting for the Ultramarines in their turn 5. Game could end at the end of this turn. Shooting now for the Ultramarines. Rob's got himself some good points. Firing down here, and the warrior's gone. And then firing across here, 2 Necrons brought down, and 1 wound. Foul of the armor save on a 2+, got a 1. So another wound taken on the Overlord, and then one of the warriors got back up again. We passed him around and held, and then firing through here, he fired all that he had. The Dreadnought fired, las cannon on the hillside fired, and then 1 las cannon and the auto cannon fired in the rear armor here, and we he either missed or we passed our jinx saves. So it remains alive, which is good news. So we've rolled, the game does continue. We're going to go into turn 6 now. Necron turn 6 coming up. So Necron turn 6. There's only a few bits left to move. We're desperately trying to cling on to this game here. We've worked out victory points. It's 10-8 at the moment. So there's some chance. So the Tomb Spiders are falling back here. To claim the line break, he has to go into hover mode. So we're just sort of patrolling the zone here, so that if he does drop into hover mode on the next turn, then we might get a charge in. Just a little bit of tactical stuff there. Probably won't work, but it's worth a try. So the warriors are falling back as well with the Overlord. We'll either try and snap fire or continue to run in the direction of those flyers. And then across here we've jumped up and over with the chariot to try and take on the Dreadnought. So shooting for the Necrons, we've just ran those 2 inches, and then we tried snap firing up and no damage on the flyer. Right, so charges then, just this one here. There's a little bit of distance, yeah, so we should be able to make it into combat. Okay, dangerous terrain, check. We passed that, so he glides into combat. Results there, 1 hull point and a weapon destroyed and locked in combat, which is a good result for us. If we were exposed in the open, there'd be a lot of trouble. So the little break there for the Necrons, it's probably still not going to be enough. Our warriors might get rounded up this turn by his air power. We'll see. Rob's got some choices to make in turn 6, how he's going to try and play this out, as we could go on to turn 7. It's a tight one. Yeah, so he's converging on the warriors and the Overlord here. He's gone into hover mode there and gained the points, and hover mode here. Yeah. He's gone into hover mode just there as well. And he'll be able to coordinate his fire on here. Should be able to pick up a point for killing the warriors and perhaps the Overlord as well. So we've got a bit of surviving to do with the Necrons. Right, we've got 4 saves to make of 2+. 1 at a time. First one, we pass. Second one, we pass. Third one, we pass. And the 4th, we pass. So he survives the first bout of shooting. Coming in again now from this flyer. There's a hail of bullets coming in on the Necron Overlord. He's done well. He's taken up his fair share of hits in this game. So here come the wounds. So 6 saves. Here we go. First one, 2+. Oh, it was almost a 1. Next one, it was almost a 1. Next one, a 6. Next one, a 5. I've got a 2. 2, we've passed. And he rolled, and the one that was down, we rolled a 6, so he's back up again. The warrior has reassembled himself after being blown apart by the flyers. So a bit of Necron cheese at the end. Some amazing dice rolls. We needed them. We've rolled bad all game. So that's shooting. We're on to combats now for the Ultramarines on turn 6. So that's combat's done. Significant there. The Dreadnought's gone. And the chariot is free to move off. Not really many targets, but it's impressive. Rob's going to roll now to see if we go on to turn 7. On a 4 or more, the game will go on. It does. We're going right to the bitter end. Right, so Necron movement on turn 7. There's still a slight chance of us winning. We've moved up 6 here. Just trying to make him uneasy at sitting there in hover mode. And then the warriors rolled well with the Overlord. They've got a 6 across the fence and then out the foot of the base there. We reckon if they roll an 8 when they charge, then they will make it into combat. Then the chariot, Overlord and the Chariot's moved out 12 here, and then he's going to try and boost into the corner and just try and sit it out and try and survive Ultramarine firepower on Rob's turn 7. That's it. We're going to go on to shooting now. Got 3 hits here with the Warriors. So you want a double 6? No. Okay. That's shooting done then. The Warriors fired up, no damage. So just backed off here with those. Run move from them. And then coming across with turbo boost and span around. And we're just going to try and sit it out here and try and survive the game. Not lose the victory points for losing the vehicle and the character inside. Right, so here we go. Do they make it? We're going to roll up here. A brilliant roll will get us into combat. Cock dice. So we want a 5 or a 6 on this dice. 6. We've made it into combat. So the Necron Overlord, who should be dead, who got up, has now made it into combat with one of the flyers. So made into combat is 4 attacks on the charge, 3s or more. We've got 3 hits, that's alright, can't complain. And then to penetrate, the first one, pens, second one, and then the third one, no. So see if it blows up. Oh, it does in spectacular fashion. So blowing up the vehicle there, that's a good job. That marks the end of Necron turn 7. There's nothing more we can do. Now see what the Ultramarines can do on their turn 7, and then the game will be over and we'll calculate points. So movement for the Ultramarines is just sat here, just claiming his line breaker, and then moved up with the Centurions just there, and then the Razorbacks just spinning around. So just on 2 shooting now. There's hardly anything left on the table. Every point counts, as we said earlier. He's going to direct the flyer's fire in. Got to survive that. 2 warriors must survive. Just rolling up saves here. We had a load to make, and that's the saves that we made. Oh, Necron cheese at the end. That's when you want it to be in a game. So, 1 warrior down. Rob's taken the warrior off, but he may even get back up again. So, bit of frustration here at the end. Necrons, it's typical Necrons. They always do this. You think you have them beat, and then they cling on, and that's what they've done. Probably not enough, but we'll wait till the final count is in. Alright, bizarreness again in this game. Centurions firing up. The Necron Overlord is down, but look at the string of dice that we rolled. We had to get, with our 3+ invuln save, we had 11 to make. First was a 3, a 5, a 3, a 6, a 6, a 5, a 3, a 5. We've got a 1, so we're down, and the warrior at the back with cover saves of 5 and 3. So then our last save, 6, we pass it. The lone warrior survives. 4+ to see if he gets up. He doesn't, so the warlord is dead. That's probably lost the game. So that marks the end of the game. We're just going to calculate victory points to see who's won. The final score we've calculated today is 13-12 to the Ultramarines. They snatched victory by 1 point, and that was all down to the Overlord not getting back up again. It was the 2 points, 1 for the kill and then 1 for killing the Overlord. So it's victory to the Ultramarines. Well done, Rob. So he's got the victory there, but that's probably one of the closest games of 40k that we've played. 13-12, final score. Good game, always a classic, Necrons, Ultramarines. So it's been a good game. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time.